Hello everyone. In this video I want to give an update on Noteey. I haven't done a video since their 1.21 version, and there's been a lot of updates. Actually, when I look back, it was the 1.21 and 1.22 versions that I last went over. So I'm going to go through some of the more notable new features and improvements that have happened to Noteey since these versions. I won't go through everything. I will say that off the bat that there has been a lot of bug fixes. So if you go through the changelog here, you will see just a bunch of bug fixes that have happened. The product is getting much more refined, starting to improve a lot, squashing a lot of bugs. There are some areas still that are in the process of being improved on, and that the one big area is the publish to web. There's still some things that needs to be polished off and refined in the publish to web area, and once that's done, I think that things will start to feel more like a normal mature application, and then hopefully we'll start getting the web and mobile versions of the Noteey app, which I think a lot of people are probably clamoring for, and especially me, and hopefully that comes here soon. We're told it's going to be the end of the year, possibly the beginning of next year, so waiting patiently, but really eager to get my hands on something that's more mobile friendly and being able to access at least some of the information in my library from my mobile device, probably even doing journaling or using the journal feature from the mobile device. Right now, the way I have this list sorted here in my notes is from the most latest version and then going down to the older versions. I have about 30 of them here, so I'm going to try to just run through these pretty quick, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. The first one here, let's go ahead and drag some things onto the canvas here. I'm going to drag some images onto the canvas. And right now I just drug about 3 different images here all at once. They're all sitting on top of each other. One feature that has been introduced now is that you can now auto layout the things on the board. So right now I have these images selected. If I want them all to be aligned horizontally, I can go ahead and do that, and we can see it actually went in and it aligned those images horizontally. It did overlap some of the images there. Not sure if there's any way to fix that particular type of scenario where it might overlap things, but you can still select them all and then move them around. If I want to do that vertically, we can see how that works. And then if you want to put these in a grid, let's go ahead and put these in a grid here. We can see what that looks like. And since it's only 3 of them right now, it looks pretty much like the vertical. If I do the vertical, no, it changed it up a little bit. So if you have images or you want to kind of auto lay out your different objects on your board, then this particular feature is going to be a good one for you here. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll mark that one off. And now that we have an image on the board, one of the newer features that has been released here in the latest release is that now you can add notes to your different objects that are on the board. One big use case is for images. So we can, this is an image, just to put a note in here. All of these can get the note added to it. You can hide that note if you don't want to see it, but the information is actually still there. So if you hit info, you'll see the note. You can even come in here and add more information here. You can put a link to whatever you want to here as well. Not sure how you might use this, but maybe there's the source for the image. If you got this online from Unsplash or something like that there, maybe you'll put the link in there and then add some information here. And this lives on this particular object, so no matter where you put it, this information is going to carry over. If we come over here to another image, you can see we can bring that up, edit it there, and hide it away when we need to. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cross that one off. Say notes can be displayed on the image directly on the board. We also saw this here as we were explaining. The card header now has the option to change the color. So this one here is, some of these already had this color picker here where you can change the colors of either the background of a card or the border of things. if we put a card on the board here, let's go ahead and expand it out a little bit. If I was to come here, I can see the color picker there, and right now it's pretty small, so let's go ahead and click it here. I have the color picker here. I can change this card to blue if I want to, and if I put a shape, let's draw a shape on this board here. You can see the color picker is there. So some of these objects actually had the color picker, some of them did not. So this is something that at least helps make it easier, so you don't have to click into the three dots and change the color this way. I do wish that the cards, even though you can change the colors, I wish that you can change the border. I thought that that feature was here at one point before, but yeah, I'm not seeing it, because as you can see here, there is no border around this. And if I change this color back to what the default is, which is white, as soon as I click off of it, the card actually disappears. So unless you hover over it, you never know that that card was even there just from looking at the board. So I think this is something that definitely needs to have some improvement with the border that's on these cards by default. Not sure why it's not showing a border here. Okay, we'll go ahead and mark this one here off and move through this list. We're hovering over items in the library. So if we go to the library, we can see now that we have these little highlighted type of quick access buttons here that we can either put a tag on. We can come in here and we can see information on there, or we can get to the three dots, which we could before. So this just makes it a lot easier if we want to quickly come in here, maybe add just a note to this one here, and maybe a source link for this particular card without opening it up. Or we can come in here, we can quickly do a tag as well. All right, so we're going to click this one here off real quick, and let's go to the next one here. So when a board is moved, all links referring to it are automatically moved. So if we were to come in here and let's delete this, you can see I forgot it was even there because you can't see it. If we were to come in here, one new feature is that you can right click and you can add a board. All right, so I have this board here now on current project, and it is board 2. And let's come in here and let's move it. So this one here, I will move. So let's go ahead and we'll move this one to my home. We will not duplicate it. What we would do is just kind of move this one in particular over there. And when I hit move over there, it says successfully moved. If I go into home, you should be able to see a board 2, and we do see board 2 there. If I was to come back to the lab, we can see that that board is missing now, and we can see that the link has been updated from basically it was in the lab where it was before. It now shows to the actual location in the home location now to board 2. So this is a pretty nice feature and very helpful if you're moving you want to move your boards around, that the actual links that you might have in your other boards and projects are updated as well. All right, so we're going to cross that one off. We have the new board option. I already showed that one. If you right click, you have the new board option where you can put a board on there. So that makes it pretty quick to do that. You have your pen width reminders. So now if you're using the pen at all, when you change the thickness here, so we'll change the thickness. Before this would reset all the time. So if I want to come in here and use the pen again, let me come in here and use it, it would reset, and I would have to actually change that thickness, where now it at least keeps the thickness of what that pen should or what you originally set it to, until you go back in and you change it. So this is a nice feature to have. We'll go ahead and mark this one here as completed, and let me see, we optimized the editing experience for lists. Now this is something here that you're not really going to notice unless you've used Noteey before. So if you've used Noteey before, you definitely will, and you used bullet lists or number lists or to-do lists, you would have seen that there was a lot of challenges with using these here. If I open up a new card, let's open this up and let's go into it. Before, some of the times you would create a bullet list, and I would put 1, and then if I was to do 2, all these here would be on the same block. So let me open this up here, and you can see a block is indicated with these 6 little dots and this little icon here on the side. Before, these would actually open up as if I hit the shift enter, and they would be on the same line, except this would look like a bullet point here. And then if I had deleted this top row, I hit delete up there, basically everything would be deleted. So even when it's not a subheading, so it could have been something like this here, these would all be within the same block. So now having these here optimized for better usability here, now what I can do is I can take this particular bullet and I can place it here. I can take this one, I can move it to here, I can come in and I can maybe put that, or just come in and move it to the left, come here, let's put this one here. So now moving and working around with the different list versions works a lot better, and you have a lot more flexibility in what you can do with these here. So yeah, I definitely, if you're new to Noteey and you're just starting to use it, you probably haven't been introduced to the headaches with the old way that the bullets worked before. So this is pretty nice. Also, let me come in here, and it looks like if we select text there, that now you also have the to-do, the number list, and the bullet list in this particular formatting drop down, where before it was just the headings and stuff. So this gives you an easy way where you can come in here and you can change this. I haven't actually changed from, say, bullet to number, so let's see how that works. Okay, works as expected. And if I change these to do, it does nothing. So let's select this, change it from number to do, and it did not change anything. So if Noteey, if you're watching, you can see here this is a bug where this is not changing from one format of the bullet list to another, especially for the to-do list. So this is not changing from a numbered list to a to-do list. Let's select all of these. I'm going to go to a bullet list, and now let's go to a to-do list. Okay, so that works. Let me go back to a bullet list. Let me just put in some formatting here, and let's see how this works here. I'm going to select those, do to do. Okay, so it seems to be if there's any indentation in the bullet list, then that particular formatting change from one bullet list to another does not work. All right, I'm also going to come in here and I'm going to change the color here so we can see this better. Let's open up the list again, and let's go ahead and mark this one off. We have improved compatibility now. If you're copying things from ChatGPT or Claude or any one of the other AI chatbot type applications, you notice that sometimes the formatting would not come over correctly. That also was the case from some other applications too, not really just these here. So now when you paste format into a note, the conversion is a lot better now. So, and I have noticed the change there, and it does improve pasting stuff into Noteey from other applications a lot better. So now we have improved drag and drop experience on the mind maps. Not sure if you've ever used the mind maps here in Noteey, but let's drop a mind map here on the board, and let's just create some different nodes and show you what we're working with here. So now the way it works here is if you come in and you want to move nodes around on here, you now get this little indicator. So you can see that blue indicator showed up down there as I move things around to show you where this node is going to be placed if you drop it on the board. Now it still looks a little weird here. Let me put this back. I'm going to kind of just select on the board itself, and let's move this around a little bit more. So if I put the node here, we can see that that works. If I move it over here, that works better. Here, here. So sometimes I've noticed, like you just saw before, how it was a little bit weird and wonky the way it was selecting where it was going to put it. You may have to kind of select or escape and then kind of just click on the board there without creating something, hopefully, and then come back and it will work the way you would expect it to. So yeah, this one it's a lot nice. It's a lot better to have that indicator, and it does work a little bit more fluently. So if you're moving those around on your mind map, then you'll probably like this particular update and improvement. All right, so we have a new floating key shortcut. So if I want to toggle on and off the floating window, you can see we can hit Command or Control W. I'm on a Mac right now, so Command W will control that for me. So let's go ahead and we'll open up a pop-up here. I can just do a command click on this particular note. It opens in a floating window. If I hit the Command W, we can see that it does hide the actual window now, so it's out of the way. And if I hit that Control W again, that window pops right back up. So this is one nice, I guess, quality of life type of feature. If you use the floating windows a lot within this application, then you can easily kind of show and hide them, get them out of your way when you need to very quickly here using the keyboard shortcut. All right, so let's go ahead and mark this one off, and we will move on to the next one. So they've added folder organization for boards in one project. So it says in one project, but this is actually works in all projects. So I'm not sure why it just says boards in one project. If I come in and open up the table of contents for this particular project, you can see now I have a new board icon and a new folder icon. I can easily come in here and check that new folder. I can create multiple folders. I'm not sure if there is a limit. I have not needed that many folders, so I have not run into a limit myself, but I can easily come in here and I can drag and drop a board into a folder if you want to organize these things within a project. This particular feature is pretty straightforward. You have folders and you can put boards in those folders, so not much more to really go into on this one here. And if you're someone that wants to group your boards within a project, then you're going to pretty much like this feature. The only thing that I did ask for here, if you're someone that numbers your boards or you want to see some kind of sorting, the folders do not offer any sorting options right now, but you can come in here. So if I can literally come to the folder where I want the board, I can hit add and it puts it in that particular folder. You can also come up here and you can add a board from the plus at the top level from being selected on that folder, and it puts it there. And then if you want to change the way it's organized, you can come in here and you can just drag and drop the board around within the folder the way you want to have it organized. But again, this is not just for one project. You can do this in all your other projects. So we'll go ahead and mark this one as done. Added type switcher in the library. Oh, this one here is more of a visual thing here. If we go into the library, you have these quick switchers here for these different types. If you want to configure this, you can come in here and you can change which types are there. As you can see, select up to 6 types to display. In the type switcher, the all option is always visible. So even though it says 6, where you select up to 6, technically you can only select up to 5. You can have as many as 6. 5 plus the all that is sitting up there. So the wording here maybe could be corrected here, because you cannot technically select 6 options. You can only select 5. So I think that could be changed there. But this does give you the quick actions to where if you only want to see your cards, you only want to see journals, PDFs, or whichever other options you want, you don't have to now go into the menu up here and do that. So this is for the times when you only want to see a particular type. If you go up into this option, this still will allow you to do the same thing, where you can hit this little eye icon and change it to a particular one that you want to see. So if I only want to see cards, I can still do it there. But the advantage of doing it this way is that I can also come in and select other options and have a mix of types that I view in my library. All right, so that one is done. Again, another nice improvement to the application, and allows us to be more efficient there. We have some improved board operations. We went over the auto layout already. We have frames automatically expand. So if I want to have a frame here and then drag options into the frame, let's go ahead and put a frame on the board there. So now I can come in, and if I want to put this mind map in there, you can see it expands to the size that I need. If I come in and I put this one here and there, it does that. If I do the image here, we can see, and just notice that the line of the frame or the border of the frame turns blue when it's enabled. So as soon as it turns blue, like right there, I can go ahead and I can drag it or let go of the actual mouse click. We can see it didn't work perfectly in this particular scenario. So it moved it a little bit, but it did not completely cover that particular image. So if I move it to the side here, let's see if horizontal, if it works. So going horizontal, it worked fine going that way. Let's go ahead and test this again on the coming from the other side. And that worked also, but if I come from the top, coming down, that worked also. So it seems to be working right now. For some reason it didn't work as well as it was supposed to that first couple of times there, but it is working right now. So your mileage may vary, and this may need a few more tweaks to be improved over time. All right, so that one is done. Now you can put GIFs on the board. I don't have any GIFs to work with here, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark that one complete, but that does work. And let me see, the redesign for project pages with a more modern look. So now if we go to the projects page, we can see here these icons, or the look of this is completely changed from what it used to be in the, say, the 1.20 version of Noteey. So if you've been using Noteey before, this is an obvious change. If you have not, this, I think you'll actually like the look here. It looks very, very well put together, a lot cleaner than it did before, and it's just starting to look more like a professional type application, that modern app that you'd see on the market these days. We'll go ahead and mark that one as completed. We've got major updates to the mind map, and yeah, some of the mind map features before the mind map here would only go from left to right. Now you can actually come in here and you have this setting here for layout, and you can change it for up and down now. So this is pretty good. What I would like to see though is both left to right and from right to left. So basically an option where I can have branches on either side of the center of the mind map, or the center node of the mind map, where there were actually images of it at one point, and basically Noteey said that there were some complications, so they had to pull it. So hopefully this comes back and we see the ability to have a layout where there are branches on both right and left sides, so we can get more of a fuller kind of mind map experience from this particular feature. But this here really does come in here, and you can hit the configuration wheel, and you can come in here now and you can change fonts, you can change font size, subnode font sizes, line thickness, the line style, whether it's square or direct. If we do square, let's hit save, we can see how that looks. Come in here and hit this here, and let's hit the direct, and we can see how those look as well. So pretty good stuff here. You can configure one of these and then set it as the default, so that all other mind maps get the same setting when you add those in there. So I think this is a pretty nice update for mind maps. All right, so we will mark all of these here off. I did not go into support adding cards, but you can come in here and you can add in a card, you can add an image, you can add a file, and you can add a link now to these particular nodes if you want to. And then we have elements on board, including images, shapes, and sticky notes, can be rotated. Now, one element that cannot be rotated, can rotate the mind map, but not sure why you would want to. But if I come to an image, which is probably more likely what most people will want to kind of rotate, you can rotate the images the way you want it to. Before, you could do a rotation, but you would have to actually come into the position setting here, and then put that in manually on how many degrees you wanted this to be rotated with on the board or on the canvas here. An actual sticky note here. So if we come in here, let's put a sticky note, and we see the little image. So we basically just select it. You'll get this little icon here, and then you can go ahead and rotate and turn the sticky note or the image however you like. All right, so that was a quick one there, but welcome. And tag management pop-ups now support switching between tag groups. So if you're going to tag something now, we can see here is that that image is not in the library, which is why it told me that it did not want me to, or I could not put an actual tag on it. Let's come here to a note or card, and let's put a tag on it. We'll hit the tags, and now that we see the tag management kind of pop up, open up here, we can see our tag groups going across the top, and we can easily, if you're using tag groups, select the tag group and then put whatever tag you want on the object here. So this is pretty nice. You can also, if you don't have a tag in there, you can select it, you can add a new tag, and that tag will be added to the group as well. So this is very thought out very well, I think, and works as expected for at least the time I've been using it. Works pretty well. If you want to show tags that are not in a group, you have an ungrouped option here as well. All of my tags right now are in a group, and I put them in a group right now in here, all my tags in a group, mainly because there is no parent-child type relationship that is available in Noteey. I've noticed that Heptabase is the same way, where you can't go ahead and kind of just string and put a slash and then child and have that be a tag and then be able to kind of have a hierarchy of tags with parent-child relationships. So using the tag groups is one way to somewhat get that particular feature. All right, so we will go ahead and mark that one as done. And filters can now be added to favorites. So right now we can see here I have save test filter. So I have this filter here that I did save, and the settings on here, we can go in here, we can go in here, we can edit. We have, this is what it's actually looking for. So it's looking for a type of cards, project, Noteey, and then everything that has these particular conditions here will show up in this filter. And I can update this filter, I can add additional conditions in here, I can delete it from here. And once it is this particular feature or filter is saved there, we can come in here and I can actually click the little 3 dots here, and then I can pin it. So like this one here shows that add to favorites. I can even add these to any favorite folders that I've created. So you can have folders for your favorites. So if you want a bunch of filters that you want to create, then add them to your favorites and then even put them in particular folders. You can do this. Now, one thing that is not available in the filters, not the particular save to favorite option here, is that you don't have a condition. So if I click on a new condition here and I go through, you only have type, project, and tag. It would be nice to actually have a search type of condition where I can add in some explicit text that I want to see or search for within a card or a project or a note or whatever, and have that show up as a condition as well. After talking with Alex from Noteey, he did say I think that's something that they're going to actually look into and potentially bring forward into the future, and I think that would really kind of ramp up this filtering option here if they're able to add that in. All right, so we're going to mark that one done. The library content list now shows the total numbers. So this is a quick one. If we click on the library here, we now show a total number of cards within the list. Now this is based on the filter, so if I come in here and I filter that, we can see that it adds up only what's being shown in this particular list and adheres to whatever is being filtered. It also says the number of deleted blank cards is displayed when deleting them as well. So now when you're going in, because before, if I was to select these options and I was to come in here and I was to say delete, it would not tell me basically how many items I'm deleting here. Where it shows is right here, 3 items selected, and if I want to delete those, it will actually I know now just how many things I'm going to actually be deleting based on the information here. All right, so that one is done. Let's go ahead, and this other one here, nothing really to show here, but they've increased the import size of local files, so from 2 gig to 5 now. So if you've been importing files that have been larger than 2 gigs, then this is something that you'll probably be happy to see. I have not been importing files this big or anything over 2 gigs yet. And then the last ones, which are, I think, just par for the course, which should happen all the time, is that they've optimized the loading speed of the board and optimized the loading speed of the tables and the tag pages and just the app overall. So this is always welcome to see. So a lot of stuff got covered here. I think there was roughly about 29, 30 different things that I've shown that have been updated since the last video that I did. There have been way more bug fixes that have been done since that last video as well. Cannot go through all the bug fixes, not to mention I've already updated the app, so I couldn't show you what the problem was before and how it's fixed now, so you really couldn't see it. You only just see things working as intended. And just a reminder to some of the people that may not have seen it and want to see a comparison between Heptabase and Noteey. I did a video between those two applications. Check them out in my video list. And quickly, the video actually became a little bit outdated because some things on the Heptabase side quickly got updated and added to the product, and the same thing on the Noteey side. New features have been added, but I think the video gives you a good overview of most of the core features and how things work and how they compare with each other as well. So check out that video. So that is going to be it for this video. If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, have a nice day.